Hey guys, welcome to another episode of OTP HVAC School. What we're going to learn today is how to remove a condenser motor from the fan lid. As you can see, I have the motor attached so we can show you from start to finish how to remove this yourself. All right, let's get started. So what we're doing here is you can use a ratchet like this one, or you can use a crescent wrench, whichever is easier to fit around the set screw, and remove it. After you remove the set screw, what we're doing here in the video is we're sanding all of this down with some grit paper until we see silver. Make sure you get rid of any of the rust, dust that falls down into the bottom before you start trying to remove the fan blade like I'm doing here. First, walk it up with the crescent wrench. You're going to move below so you can get enough leverage, like I'm doing here, to remove the fan blade. It can be a little difficult sometimes and fun, but you get it off, you do a little dance. As you can see here, I'm telling you no, do not wrap motors this way. That's what these 4 bolt holes are for. I think what happened was they flipped the bolts for some reason. This is what we call a train style mount. So occasionally you have to use a train adapter since most motors are a 48 frame motor. As you can see here, bolts can be equally as hard to remove from the lid. So just use another ratchet. You can have the kind with the handle or the one like I have, and just give it a little pull and should come off. These are great for leverage if you have a stuck bolt that's really rusted on there. So once you get this loose enough, you're going to use your nut driver and remove all of those off of there, and then you got your motor moved. So what I'm showing you here is to check the bolt pattern on your motor. They should be 5 5/8, which is what we call a 48 frame. That's going to be the spacing of the bolts that you fit down in there. I'm removing the ground wire. I don't like them sticking there. And the motor is going metal to metal. With this style though, perfectly fine to not have a ground wire. You can hook it up underneath one of the legs or something if you want, but I just don't like extra things on there. I am attaching one of the nuts onto the bolts so that I can actually lift the lid and make it easier to screw those in. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up all of these bolts and just get them hand tight. And then once you get it hand tight on there, what you're going to do is take it just a 1/4 inch turn more. You don't want to over tighten these because there's a good chance you're going to snap the bolt. Don't do that. I've had one snap on me before and had to go through the entire process again. So you can see I've got the wires secured with zip ties just to kind of get them out of the way and pull them through the tube. That tube is going to go along that divot, that kind of wider divot in the lid. That's something called a raceway. Some of you are going to have conduit instead of this big kind of rectangular piece. And I'm zip tying all of this out of the way instead of using gobs of tape. I just think it looks better. It also gives the wires a little more room to breathe. You want them snug, but not too tight. What we're doing here is we're going to get out the remaining rust, dirt, crud from out of the hub, knock it loose, and then I'm going to take a shop towel, or if you've got a paper towel, and then just run it through. After you've got it run through there, we can slide it on the shaft. Even after doing all that, just go ahead and remove any rust when you push the hub or the fan blade back down, because there still might be a little bit there. The set screw, as I'm pointing out, is going to go against the flat. So the hole on your hub there, you're going to put the set screw in and you're going to tighten it on the flat. Once we've placed that on there, we're going to slide the hub down again. We're going to get it close to the bottom after we've removed all the rust and everything. What I'm showing you here is we want to get the fan blade as close as possible to the motor. A lot of customers get super uncomfortable when I do this because they think that the fan blade needs to go towards the middle of the shaft. Get it really close. What that's going to do is prevent bypass. So we've got this down low-ish. I could even go lower if I wanted to, which was me testing to make sure a minute ago that it wasn't going to hit any of the wires or any part of the motor as it spins. And then we're going to put our connectors on here. If you've got a universal motor, a lot of them don't come with these female quick connects, which you're going to use to plug in to your capacitor. The reason why they don't do that is there's a lot of different mounting styles for motors, and some of them just kind of wire nut in. Yours are probably going to hook to a capacitor, and we'll get to wiring here in the next episode, but for now, just know I'm connecting them up where they need to go, and we're going to turn it on. One last spin, and 240. There we go. What Matt is doing here is he's measuring to make sure that the fan blade is relatively even. If you're going to adjust your fan blade like this, you're going to need to measure. Do not bend at the flimsy blade. It will cause that to break. As you can see, he was pulling up on the metal part, which is the more sturdy part of the fan blade, to bend it. And this is just kind of a thing that we do at Open to Public. If someone were to purchase a motor through us, to install the motor onto the condenser lid. So I hope that this has been helpful to you, and thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed it. For more like these, just subscribe to our channel and give us a like if you learned a lot. Have a great day, guys.